Hello and welcome. This is Elite Geospatial, and today we're going to be making an update to the video I made sometimes in 2023 on network analysis. And this update is coming on the need for some other things that were missing in that video. Now, in that video, we learn how to prepare data for network analysis. But in the process, we lose all the attributes. So today we're going to learn how to undo all of those things and still maintain our attributes and all of that. So without any further ado, let's get started. So I have the data of GCC states, which represent all of the Saudi Arabia, Oman, Kingdom of Oman, and all of that. So this is an OSM data, which is what I want to use. I will have clipped it up, but I wanted to do the video from the very beginning. All right, so what I need here is the road data. So I'm just going to drag the road data and drop it here. So we have the road data, but we'll now clip it down to our study area. So I'm going to bring in the shapefile of our study area, which is this. Okay, under this base map, I have a polygon. I'm just going to drag this and drop. So it's the eastern province of Saudi Arabia. That is what we are studying right now. And we'll clip this to that. So to clip, we just go to geoprocessing over here. I will click on clip. Then we impute our future as the road, and then the output will be that the clip file will now be the boundary. So I'm not going to save this to anywhere. I'm just going to click because I want it to be there on the temporary file. Then later, when I'm satisfied, I can easily just move it into where I want my work to be. All right. So our road has been clipped to the study area we're working on. So we'll remove just the road, leaving the ones we just clipped. Now the next thing we want to do is, because this data has a lot of errors, if we put this into topology, there's need for us to fix it before that. So I have gone through all the solutions, because this time around, if you look at this data on the attribute here, you see that we have F class, which is what will help you if you want to fill in like the type of the speed limit and all of that. This will help you. Then the name also, in terms of whenever you do any of the analysis, that will help you to know exactly which road you are on. And then lastly, the most important field here also is this maximum limit. So the last video we did, we have an instance whereby after what I'm about to do is done, it loses everything. So I'm going to go ahead and dissolve this. So we just dissolve this one we created, and I'm not going to hold it to any field. I'll leave everything the way they are. So I'm just going to dissolve. So this will dissolve. Once it's dissolved, we'll continue from there. So what happens whenever a file is dissolved is it all stitches together, right? So all of the files are split into these two. Now, we don't have any attribute aside the shape lengths and all of that. So the next thing we do normally is to come and search for this tool under the search, future to lines. Features to line. So what this does is that this will split them at every junction, because you know there have been gaps, there have been all of those. So now it's going to split them at each junction, right? This is not a permanent solution or anyway, but this is the most usable solution. All right, so this is going to split them back, including those overshoots and all of that. So it's going to split them back so that it can escape most of this. So now that we have this done, so we'll just remove this one because this has already been splitted. But now look at something. Wherever you come here now, you see that every attribute is gone. We do not have an attribute, but we can use this to do network analysis. It will work, yes. But we don't have an attribute if you don't. So now what we want to do is we want to retrieve this attribute, right? So to do that, we're going to use this tool called Spatial Join. So I'm going to search for it. Spatial Join. This is going to join the two attributes because you know the data are having similar attribute, right? They're having the same coordinate, they're having virtually the same, some level of overlaps like that. So this will enable us to import data from the original to the one. So the target here will be this one that we have, this very one that has no attribute, right? So we want to borrow attribute from the original. So we're just going to bring it in. So the join feature will be the one that's the original file, as the original one that has all of the attribute we are looking for. All right. So the next is that the join operation will be join one to one. So down here, which file do you want to keep? So if you want to keep anyone, you add them, but let's just leave them so you should add every file to us, all right? So it's going to add all the files back to us. Then when you come down here, now there are varieties of matching options here. We have intersect, we have within a 3D distance, completely contained and all of that. But the best one you can use is either to use this closest or you use intercept. All right, so this tool will solve your problem. If you can do share a line segment with, or but intercept will do the job. So you also add a search radius, let's say 5 meters, and if we are done with that, we just click on OK. So this should be able to import the attribute we've lost from here into this attribute that, this one that has no attribute, giving us both that repair and the attribute we already lost. Now we have retrieved them. So as you can see, we have our attribute. Now you can see we have the joint count and the target field. So this was how it does in merging them together and all of that, all the ones it merged. And so you can interpret this, that this to this and that, all that. So it has been able to join all of it, that we have all the attributes missing. We now have them. Okay, so now this, we can now use this to either calculate for the maximum speed and all of that. So we can use it to calculate all of those data and all of that. So the next video, we're going to use this to do future data set, and calculate for time travels and all of that. So I just wanted to bring this update to you so that we will know our way forward in network analysis. So that's it from me today. Thank you for watching, and do well to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. For now, bye-bye.